Hello and welcome back to the Honor Respect and to another edition of AEW Dynamite Out of 10. And yeah, big show today because of course it is the first Dynamite since full year, and of course we've got the start of the Continental Classic as well. So yeah, a lot happening on this show. All of the fallout from full year and the start of the Continental Classic. We've got 3 matches, including the first match, which was Strickland versus Jay Lethal in a competition. On the heels of that death match that saw him defeat Page, Strickland became the first competitor to win points, defeating Lethal in this opener. It should not be much of a surprise to anyone that Strickland and Lethal had a great contest focused on the idea of each competitor exploiting the other's injury and ending with Strickland delivering a double stomp to get the win. Kicking off Dynamite with the most buzzworthy start from the latest pay-per-view was the right corner. Strickland did not disappoint. The fans in Chicago were behind him and greeted him with an enormous pop, making the opener feel like an even bigger deal. So yeah, this gets a 7 out of 10 for me. Like I say, a really good start. The right result as well. Strickland is hot AF at the moment, and yeah, you really fancy him to go far in this tournament. And Jay Lethal, yeah, like I say, he's always going to put up a strong match, especially with everything that Strickland went through on Sunday. So yeah, this worked out really nicely. Good stuff. Better than you, baby, then limp their way to the ring just days after MJF injured his hip in his successful AEW World Championship defence against Jay White, during which tag partner Adam Cole interfered. After some banter, MJF made reference to the Devil and was interrupted by the mysterious Masked Devil, who simply laughed at his assertion that he wants to do nothing with a people's scumbag. This brought up Samoa Joe, with MJF tried to screw out of his world title shot with Cole. Cole talked him into being a man of his word. Eventually, a world ends. The match was agreed, and yeah, Joe will try and take the title in MJF's home state. The biggest question here is why Cole will be insistent on MJF and honouring his agreement with Joe, and it isn't convinced that when MJF go close to the claimed Daddy Arse, they were attacked by the Devil and his minions, thus leaving the camp with no choice but to turn to Joe. We were close to finding out who was behind the mask, and it would not be surprising if it was some sort of maniacal plan with Cole, or maybe it's just Jack Perry in the most unexciting outcome. Anyway, this is a multi-layers when they achieved a few things and got MJF on today despite his injury. Good stuff, even though if the MJF Cole partnership appears to have cool compared to what it was 2-3 months ago, but obviously that wasn't helped by injury. But I thought, yeah, like I say, it worked in multiple different ways, so I'm not going to complain about it. Solid stuff. Before we got Cassidy, Hook and Shibata taking on Danny Magic, Cool Hand and Jake Hager, and yeah, it was the Babyfaces who unsurprisingly got the win here. It was a fun bout that led to the former JAS members getting a bit of a shine before the Babyfaces exploded back into the match and scored the win by a simultaneous rub run and sleeper from Hook and Shibata. This did not make any further stories advanced or make anyone look better or worse than they did prior to the match. It was a good fun match, and beyond that, featured the much anticipated return of Danhausen, who delivered a curse to Chicago, Hager among a big pop from the Chicago crowd. So yeah, that's kind of what this match was achieved to do, but except for that, yeah, there wasn't a huge amount to it, if I'm being brutally honest. So yeah, I'll give it a 6 out of 10. It was just there. It wasn't really inoffensive. Yeah, it just wasn't really anything. Before, on the heels of a full gear loss to Copeland, Sting and Darby Allin, TNT champion Christian Cage led Nick Wayne and Luchasaurus to the ring with the intent of rechristening them. He did so, rebranding Luchasaurus as Kill Switch and Wayne as the Prodigy, but not before humiliating the former in a way that will likely only continue to drum up tension in the group. Shayna Wayne, Nick's mum, interrupted proceedings but ended up catching an errant blow from the Kill Switch before a teased Concerto. Alan Copeland made a save, delivering 2 spears and a Concerto of his own, and stood tall as the commentary team attempted to cover up for the racist star superstar, brutalising the young competitor in front of his mother. It was certainly an interesting segment. Cage is a great heel, but the Luchasaurus really needs to be rebanded as that. What was the point in calling Wayne something he's already referred to? How did Copeland not realise Wayne's mum was there as he attacks his son, and he slid right past her to wipe him out in the first spear? It continued the feud, but did so in a rather clunky fashion. Hopefully it leads to Copeland v Cage singles action at World's End. But yeah, it was an interesting segment, and that's pretty much all I'm going to say about it, I think. It was then time for more Continental Classic action, with Rouge taking on Switchblade Jay White, and it was Switchblade earning the points with a pinfall victory with a well-timed and undetected low blow and a brave runner. This was a competitive match between 2 men who did a solid job of putting even the physical exhaustion and experience after disappointing nights at Full Gear. It put over White as a resourceful heel who would still find a way to cheat and win, even if he can't rely on outside interference from his Bullet Club Gold cronies. It was a great bounce-back victory for one of the top guys in the company after losing to MJF at Full Gear. For Rouge, it was another disappointing loss despite a performance solidifying him as a premier wrestler in AEW. So yeah, I thought it worked for both men in different ways here and did the job pretty much needed. So I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. Before it's time for women's triple threat action, Sky Blue versus Ruby Soho versus Anna Joe. This match was nowhere as good as it could have been, thanks to an overabundance of attention paid to the Soho and Jay Parker romance storyline. So much focus was put on that story and the interactions between Soraya and Maynard at ringside that had the actual bout become secondary. Blue winning was important, especially if things are heading in the direction of her challenging Storm for the Women's World title, but how seriously is she being taken when the latest chapter in a love story supersedes her continued rise, especially for the big belt? So yeah, I don't know, I guess I'm kind of into the romance angle. It does make sense. They've been building up to a number of weeks, but yeah, it kind of just felt like it could have been done on the side from this. I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. Before it's time for our main event, Moxley versus Brisco in the Classic, and yeah, Moxley getting the win here in a really fun main event, despite being slightly rushed, but it's still a grueling battle between the two. And yeah, you can see how respected and influential these wrestlers have been to each other. Brisco showed great toughness while absorbing everything from him, only to come to Moxley after a stomp and the second Death Rider of the match. Moxley winning felt like a foregone conclusion, so there's no surprise, but it's time to start doing something meaningful with Brisco because of the high profile losses do not add up. And you thought, yeah, Moxley coming off the back of that Full Gear loss, it could maybe be an opportunity for him to get a major win and really build him up and add surprises to the Continental Classic, but it didn't quite work out like that. But like I said, it's still a really fun match that I enjoyed from start to finish. So yeah, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. And overall, Dynamite this week gets a 7 out of 10 from me. Yeah, I don't know. I thought maybe this Dynamite wasn't everyone's cup of tea, but I did quite enjoy it. There was some really good matches in the Classic, which I think started off really well. Would have liked seeing a surprise result or two, but there we go. It didn't quite work out. Already starting Babyfaces for World's End and Fallout from Full Gear. So yeah, I thought this Dynamite kind of did what it needed to do. 7 out of 10. But anyway, guys, that's the video. Thanks so much for watching. Like, share, subscribe. And it's also if you're daily wrestling and subscribe to the channel, it's going to be greatly appreciated. Thanks so much for watching. Peace out.